Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrath of the Gods event here in Age of Mythology Retold. This is for $15,000 total. This is the first qualifier now, and we are in a quarterfinals match. And in the blue color, we have got AC playing as Ra. In the red, this is ReDo playing as Poseidon, and I think I've got their nameplate swapped, so I'm gonna have to find the hotkey again to swap the player sides. Could anybody remind me what that is? I'm not sure. But once the chat tells me, I will do it. I will do it. But guys, this is an event in collaboration with Microsoft itself. World's Edge, that is, the studio that oversees the Age of Empires franchise, have contributed $12,000 to this whole event. And then Boyton, myself, and Iron Maiden have done the rest. Yodesla is helping us cast, and Wolf Studios is helping us with all these beautiful production assets, such as the map intros that you've been seeing throughout the event. So catch the streams on all our live stream pages and the videos on all our YouTubes. Now, let's talk a little bit about this matchup. AC, being Ra here, will be able to, of course, empower this one monument, which will then empower essentially everything, freeing up the priest to scout, which is very important to do on Ghost Lake, because that's where all the goats are, or were. Looks like they have mostly been gathered. ReDo has 10 of them, and AC has just 4? What? No way. Wait, he just found 2 more. Okay, that's good, that's good. Not too bad at all. So yeah, in Retold, one thing that has changed is that the obelisks are now viable to make for Ra, giving him quite a bit more scouting. Because there's no use in empowering with the priest and sending out the pharaoh. No, you just make the monument, empower with the pharaoh, and that way you will get priest level empowerment on everything. So no point in leaving the priest home at that point. The priest can go and be a regular scout. We've got also a good amount of relics as usual. In Retold, there's now 4 relics per map, rather than the 2 of old. Harmonia's necklace is one of them for extra gold gather rates, and we've got the blanket of Empress Zoe, which will be giving a little bit of crush vulnerability reduction to buildings. Then we've got the armor of Achilles for better infantry hack armor, as well as the fetters of Fenrir, increasing villager attacks. Very nice. So what's Ra gonna do, really, is the big question. When you go this hard on gold, it basically indicates that you're interested in a second town center. That is where that will be deposited later down the line. And essentially you've got a Ptah advance. You'll be making several gadgets throughout the classical age, supposedly. Not necessarily the case, but supposedly. And you'll have Shifting Sands available for aggressive plays. ReDo, however, already reached the classical age, and he's coming across with the Centaur as well as the Hero to harass the Goldmine a little bit. He will get some shots in, I'm sure. But yeah, Poseidon also very much interested in a little bit of boomy gameplay, getting some extra town centers. Probably not going up to 3 town centers, because Ra is going to be rather scary. With that Vajet-based army and the barracks units. Even this priest is actually getting quite a few shots in on the Centaur. However, the Vajet gets picked off by Theseus very early on. So that's some nice play right there. And the priest itself is not safe. Can ReDo get the garrison here? Ooh, that's going to be close. But I think... Oh, the healing coming in from the other one. That's good. It's not enough, however. The garrison never has happened. And now the second priest is getting threatened as well. Atalanta not minding the dive, and the pumpkins are also gonna get harassed. But I think that's gonna be it for now. ReDo should probably back off and play for 2TC. But I think he might be more interested in further harassment. Like, he's got the stable up. We'll see what he actually ends up deciding. We've got Shadoof coming in already. That's interesting, because berry picking, or in this case pumpkin picking, as we now have this holidays event, is actually pretty good for Ra. It's One of the recent patches added the bonus to Ra, where this is gathered at the same rate as Hunt. So you could go for berries before chickens. That's now a defined order. Wow, I should have muted that, sorry. A second stable from ReDo, right up here. I was wondering if that villager was lost earlier, but clearly not. He wants to deny the second town center, he wants to pump his units out, and he himself has the resources to make something happen. Okay, and because nobody in chat told me about what the hotkey is for swapping sides, I actually have no clue myself, so I will just change the names and hope for the best there. Wait, is it Control T? No, that's find the temple. Shift T. Alt T? Alt T! Something with T. I knew that. So now the nameplates are correct up there. But I think their colors are wrong. I'm sorry. The cavalry is going after the spears. Not the best kind of matchup for them. But hey, they got to push away the villagers. That's good. And further to that, we've got now the farm transition, which is... Okay, I don't agree with it. I don't like it, actually. I think you should be gathering all your natural resources first. You can definitely spend some resources on your army. You don't have to deposit your gold into farms early on in Retold anymore because of the chickens, because of the herdables, because of the berry bushes. They last you a long, long time. So Shadoof can wait, and instead the Shadoof can be a second Vajet. So that's a little bit of a thing for AC to optimize in the future. Hopefully he watches this. We've got leather frame shield coming in as well. That will give some extra pierce armor to the spearmen, which is good against the centaur, but right now there's no archers. Meanwhile, ReDo has of course gone for the second town center. And, you know, rain has also changed, by the way. So it's now only impacting your own farming, not your opponents. So that's a huge upgrade for Ra. And it heavily rewards using several rains throughout the game. And also is another reason that you don't necessarily have to rush your rain. Because before, you'd be a little bit concerned that the other guy is also going to get the helpful impact of the rain, right? Well, no longer is that the case, so you can just delay it yourself. There's no need to rush that god power anymore. All right. I really like how ReDo's walling in this area. Of course, the spearmen would be very easily breaking through. That's not an issue whatsoever. But it gets a little bit of control done off the map, so if it's not done in time, that could be a problem. However, this is a 2 gold mine main base. That's very good for Egyptian players. ReDo is setting up for the heroic age, but AC will be a little bit faster, which is to no one's surprise, you know, because ReDo did go for a second town center. That is expensive stuff. It does mean that your villagers are not gathering, but rather building. You do pay the price for that with a little bit of delayed age ups, as well as smaller armies potentially. The cavalry is getting their butts kicked a little bit by the spearmen. It's time to add a little bit of Toxotes to this mix. But I think ReDo going for the heroic age now through Aphrodite is a little bit more interested in the military academy, which is actually a good answer to this. So one thing you can do is just pump out a bunch of Hippospis, and then you still have your cavalry to do heavy damage to villagers and whatever you end up chasing. This DC is totally unreachable right now for AC. It's just not realistic, but the other one is right there. He's taking it. And then there's a gold mine, which he of course knows about. There's a safe gold mine here. You could just go for this. So slap down your Migdol and go for the gold. Meanwhile, the villagers will be gathering back home. They're all empowered still. This monument is beautifully covering everything, so good base layout. Skin of the Rhino is coming in to help the villagers a little bit. getting more armored. And we've got the Citadel, which now produces villagers even faster. So you'll notice, I think this doesn't actually list this tooltip the training time, but the villagers do have a 15-second training time. Normally from the Citadel, it's 12 because it's 25% faster to produce everything there. Citadel special. Oh my god. Okay. AC actually deciding to go forward with this Migdol stronghold. He will probably be needing a bunch of camels as well as chariots in the mix. Seeing as he's going to be dealing with Hippa's Pist, that is, I think, the right way to go about this. You need the Hippeus dispatched with, so the camels are doing exactly that. Good villager kill before this wall comes up, so ReDo will be in a little bit of a pickle, but then he's still got this one. And the Hippa's Pist plus the lion should have no problems catching the spearmen if they just stand still for a moment. Alright, we've got a breakthrough. And the Prodromos are also joining the fight. Now that's a terrible tool to fight against spearmen. So AC is actually having a great time there, I have to say. Guys chilling on the other side of the map. They need to be here. ReDo can protect his gold mine if all his army is around. He doesn't need to worry so much about that relic. Or the gold mine there, for that matter. Blankets of Empress Zoe would help against the Scarab, to be fair. But I don't expect a whole lot of Scarabs in this matchup. The Greek heroes are just very competent. Oh! Oh! Actually catching the Scarab. Turning it into a pig with Curse. Now that's a resource-based distribution, so if you catch the Myth unit, you are not going to catch the army, because it already uses up the majority of the available resources, right? He's actually empowering the obelisk, giving him crazy line of sight there. And actually sticking around here is paying off for ReDo. He's got a stun, and he's got the guys in the corner. The Hippa's Pist will be doing massive damage. But this is the actual fight that matters. There's two Migdol strongholds here. Very difficult to take those down. You're gonna need your own fortress with Petrobolos out. But protecting those with this kind of army is gonna be super easy actually. So no problem with that. And you know, despite the Citadel, despite AC catching up with the second town center himself, ReDo still has 5 extra villagers for a little longer. If he's catching grabbing this third town center as well, he can maintain his advantage and get ahead of it. But once again, it's expensive. He's gonna get a slower mythic age than what we're gonna see from AC. Osiris is coming in, and let me tell you, the Son of Osiris is very difficult to take on with counter units. The counter units annihilate this, yeah, but then you've got Son of Osiris, who you wouldn't be doing much damage to. And he gets to annihilate pretty much everything. Further Hippa's Pists are getting added. And we're also looking at heavy camel riders coming out. The economic upgrades have been pretty equal between the two players as well. There is shaft mine for both. We've got hand axe for both. Plow for ReDo. That should turn into irrigation as soon as possible, because he's running out of animals to hunt or herdables to gather from. The third Migdol. Now that's a good location for an earthquake potentially, but I do think he would go after the Citadel. A Citadel recast will be 100 favor. That's very expensive for sure. Still might be worth it though. Especially if you can get a second one. It's plus 10 pop. So if you can max out with 3 Citadels, that is actually a devastatingly huge army. Yeah, don't fight that without the Son of Osiris. It's just a few moments away. Wait to that. That's the best thing you can do. There's a whole lot of army units to be made as well. Desert Wind is going to be researched. It's very expensive, guys. It's 30 favor. So that favor blob is now gone. Would love to see further monuments, but AC finally has his Son of Osiris. This is going to be scary to engage, and ReDo wants no part in it. Making a bunch of walls, having a bunch of extra fortresses will be rather helpful here. Just to have some extra firepower, but this is a very peaceful game. Once again, barely any engagements for 15 minutes. The guys just build up and then have this one big clash. This has been a theme of the Wrath of the Gods tournament. Let's see if it sticks. Getting the big battle cry from the army, and the Son of Osiris has got really good positioning here. There's nothing that can really reach him, and look, he's already annihilated 4 cavalry units without any Egyptian deaths thus far. The chariots are also getting to work. They are heavy chariots now. Earthquake is going to be available in a moment as Mythic Age finishes up for ReDo. But with no units left over, as I was saying, the Son of Osiris annihilates the counter units. There's no question about that, right? You're gonna want your 4 heroes out in this scenario because they're pretty tanky themselves. Especially Polyphemus can be an absolute Giga Chad like that. The 3 big door strongholds are going to be the Earthquake's target rather than the Citadel, and definitely 2 of them should be going down, right? I think this one, okay, survives at 500. This did almost no damage. 500 resources maybe. AC can very easily rebuild the houses that were lost. They are free, so they don't count as resource damage to me. Peltas are getting added. I like that a lot, but I'm pretty sure they're basic Peltas right now. Oh, medium, okay, that's not bad. Armory upgrades are in for the copper line, but seems to me that AC is ahead on that. He also has the copper line plus bronze armor. The town center is getting eradicated by this army. It's just camels, man, but it's enough to destroy it. It does, however, spawn all these militia to help defend, and we've got a really beautiful wraparound from ReDo. The heroes are out, as I suggested earlier, and we've got a huge stun on this army. I think everything of AC's might die, but he has shifting sense. Oh my god, the Son of Osiris is stuck. What happened? Oh no. He really needed to save that, but it's gonna go down. ReDo might actually have a hold here, ladies and gentlemen, but for now, the camels and chariots are still proving to be rather valuable. What happened with that Son of Osiris? I'm so sad. Meanwhile, the town center has been taken, in fact, and the wall has broken, and we've got the second citadel as predicted for the higher population cap. If AC is able to somehow max out, I don't see how a Poseidon player can possibly stop that. The Ra army is going to be super high quality, of course. Especially if further monuments get added and we start seeing mummies and whatnot. The trade could be started up soon enough as well, but right now, the truth is that AC kind of can't afford it. He needs to max out on the villagers, he needs to have a few more farms and use a few more rains, but he's evacuated this area for some reason. We'll see why in a bit. I think he's just massing gold mines. Excuse me, I'm having a coughing fit in the background. The army has been once again cleaned up by ReDo, so he's not in too bad of a position. He's got heavy infantry, so his heavy hoplites added in will be the things to take care of the camels as well as any melee siege weapons. I really like the addition of the Helepolis, which will tank a lot of the chariot fire if the chariots aren't perfectly microed. However, the catapult is easily able to take this thing down. Look at it, 200 crush damage, of which 100 would actually go through. So 6 catapult shots absolutely do defeat a Helepolis. So you get out like 3 catapults and you can 2-shot the Helepolis. That's, I think, a really nice little rhythm to have. Would highly recommend to try. That said, catapults and Helepolis are both super expensive, so these players might be more interested in just making human units for now. Still a little closer to maxed. Yeah, the catapult is working on the wall. It's taking it down pretty quickly too. Heavy infantry, by the way, does affect the militia. I kind of wish it showed that they're medium heavy champion militia. That would be nice. Because you can never tell. That's a lot of peltas, guys. I don't know about that. That's too many peltas, in my opinion. If AC just adds in more camels and maybe even an elephant or two and starts working on their upgrades. I mean, Ra does impact elephants as well with the main bonuses. So that is something to consider. Catapult going a little bit too forward, and the militia will be picking that one off. Ouchies. Pretty good micro on the peltas, however. Love the shift click there. Need more hoplites up front, though. Because the peltas by themselves, well, sure they can deal with 4 or 5 camels, but it would be so much better if there's hoplites also. We've got a little bit of a fortress push. ReDo would be wanting a little bit of siege here, but he's spamming so many units right now. I'm not sure he can easily afford that. No trade as of yet for our Greek player, by the way. So the gold mine locations are critical to control. And we've got a huge mass of camels with Desert Wind, by the way, coming up on this location. I'm not sure it's going to be very easy for ReDo to hold, but all these hoplites are absolute giga chads. And they're helping so much. AC will have to back off, and once again loses his catapult, I think, to the fire of the Petrobolos, by the way. Siege against siege is really practical. Fortress is slowly being tickled, but I'm afraid that the fortress is actually shooting at the villagers, right? It requires some targeting. For some reason, it seems to prefer shooting the other fortress. Now it's shooting the units. Okay, I think that's being microed. Meanwhile, the army, however, has been reduced a little bit for ReDo. He's struggling to keep popped at 150 population versus 174, 5. You kind of need a much bigger pump, and, you know, sticking back here under the town center and tower fire or fortress fire, you would get a lot of opportunities to do that, to just build up your army. Finally, Helipolis pops out. That should take care of this Migdol stronghold. And we've also got a bunch of units making it through here, ticking off the villagers, but the main push is looking rather good for AC. Just needs to not put the chariots in targeting range for the peltas, because they'll melt away. Even the hoplites are holding strong. They do some bonus damage against chariots also. But it looks like the camels are just too high in number, and should be able to take care of this now. I would just love to see some elephants here. I think it would be such a good addition to what we're already seeing. And the 2 catapults might be the key to taking down the town center. I think it's gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure ReDo has anything left in the tank. He's got a little bit of resources, but not enough to remax, and the 200 population mark has been breached. Meanwhile, by AC, the push is looking devastatingly strong. 3 catapults, no engineers even yet, so these can get even stronger as we move forward. And sure, the militia will provide a little bit of opportunity to push back, but is that enough? The mercenaries are out, as, you know, AC has been pumping the caravans. This is a quite respectable caravan route. I think they've been upgraded for speed. Ditto. Coinage is in fact, 57 gold per trip. Yeah, it's consistent between all of them. Sometimes there's a little bit of variance, but yeah, 57 is decent. You would want to empower it, ideally, at least for the priests. You certainly have the population space, right? So getting 15% extra from the trade, I think, is highly valuable. It should be done. Catapult's job should be to target down the Helipolis. Hopefully we'll see that. I was propping it up earlier. It's for a reason, guys. Actually, the catapults are taking a lot of crush damage as well. Their crush armor isn't as high as it used to be in the original game. These catapults can clean them all up if the catapults aren't reacting. Once again, giving ReDo an opportunity to come back, and the fortress stays alive too. Catapults are such a good addition here. But they'll be bullied a little bit by the siege tower, who has somewhat more crush armor. Still would be taking a lot itself, but it's been just upgraded with engineers, so even more firepower is coming in. Paul is getting bonked hard by this thing. Mythology Stronghold is still alive somehow at 60 health. How did this happen? Time to repair. I like that stone wall has come in. I like that ReDo is now trying to make Chimera. I do wish it had happened a bit earlier, but he just didn't have the resources. I think now, however, he has somehow, some way stabilized. And ladies and gentlemen, this is his moment. He's starting his trade. It's decent. Needs more, but it's decent. New Kingdom is getting researched. One of those super important techs for any Ra player. Because having a second pharaoh means that you can empower a second group of buildings. Using the monument, of course. So we should be seeing that shortly. That's a lot of minions getting spawned as the mummy has cursed a ton of units, adding some further help to this force. And the Chimera by itself, not enough to push back the tide. The heroes aren't even all out for ReDo, so actually difficult to deal with the minions because of that. These are regular chimeras, by the way, not tyrants just yet. We might get around to that, but let's see. Flames of Typhon is researching right now, but there is finally a priest getting added, and that takes care of the chimera. Fortified town center for ReDo is in. Are we gonna see a third citadel, however, for AC? I think the potential is there. The camels are now going after the villagers over there, and the chariot is even helping, so they'll all be falling while the fortress is destroyed by the siege tower. I'm not sure this is quite enough to destroy the town center by itself because of the militia, but we shall see. The catapult is safe for now. And while ReDo is trying to fight this back really hard, his resource spending and gathering just isn't quite right. He has too much favor. He doesn't have the chimera. The production is falling behind, and here comes AC punishing him with the now better catapults. Extra 50 crush damage, by the way. Nothing to scoff at. Just needs a front line to deal with this infantry. That's the only thing that's missing. And that could be mercenaries, once you empower the trade in particular. Like, you could just put a monument here, and the pharaoh could do that. Although, he is already empowering the wood. He's empowering the buildings for production speed. This Migdal is in fact impacted. So that's not too bad, but empowering the trade, always, always, always do it, guys. Always. Finally, an elephant. I like it. It's the elephant in the room. Question in the chat. Is this the original army corps? No. This is just somebody called AC. Automatic climate control system. The Turkish player, not the Canadian one. I'm actually not sure what it stands for. He might be an Army Corps fan. Destroying the siege towers, sorry, the buildings with siege towers is gonna be a rough one with all these militia continually spawning. They can't really get the job done. So you need something that can tank the infantry, and you need something to deal with the peltast. And I think the slow push with the Migdal strongholds is pretty much the way to go. Adding a bunch of spearmen, not the worst idea either. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of the towers, but I mean, they'll do something, just not very much. Overall, the fortresses are a better bang for buck, because they have 3 projectiles versus 2, and a higher attack to begin with, and they can produce stuff. So towers you would make last. Ideally, max out your fortresses first. Oh god! Oh god, things are about to get a whole lot worse. 2 catapults are now bullying this, and yeah, ReDo does decide that he cannot hold any longer, as he would have been losing 2 town centers at the same time. which is not acceptable against someone that's boosted up by citadels. So the total population has just been ahead for AC for the longest time. ReDo not quite efficient enough with his resource use, certainly not enough gold. You just need such a large trade in retold, and I think people are still getting used to that. So seeing like the double and triple production of caravans from AC, I think was great. That's exactly what you need to do. He himself missed the empowerment, so this probably could have gone a little faster given the situation, but I mean 428 to 371 kills tells the story, and he didn't really need more than that. Off we go to game 2, ladies and gentlemen. Off we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blue Lagoon. This is going to be our game 2. And in the blue color, spawning as Hades, this is AC. In the red, we've got ReDo on the other side of the map, playing as Isis. Let's get it on. I think I have to switch the sides once again. That should do it. Sorry with the colors being off, I'll just have to leave it at that. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Isis versus Hades, especially on a map like this. It's relatively defensive, but it's also quite open. Like, you know, compared to some maps, you still have the cliffs and the ponds to help you with the walling situation, which is good for the defending Hades, who is going to be interested in walling off the short parts of the map. And then ideally having a second town center to have enough economy to fight off the Isis Heroic Age push, which is consisting of an Ancestors and Eclipse combination, as well as tons of chariots, maybe siege towers, and maybe a little bit of camos or spearmen. We shall see what it's exactly going to be. It's already pre-queuing his Vaults of Erebus, AC is, and if he leaves 2 villagers on Temple, that will be a lot of favor coming in to be able to afford this. So yeah, you spend quite a lot of your time here getting that instead of mining gold, and long term it will pay off. So if you've got a god like Isis who will be looking to attack you in the heroic age, then yeah, you've got enough time to do this. And also at the very beginning, we've seen these giraffes getting pushed in by the scout, forcing these animals to go under the town center, which makes the villagers able to gather from them without a granary. So nice savings there. We have lore at home. Egypt, on the other hand, I mean, could technically do this, right? And reduce the walking distances, but you already have a free granary, so it's not that much of a loss, and the pharaoh will be empowering anyway. So bet you just go out with the priest, plant them some obelisks, make sure that you've got vision of everything and everyone. Find those hidden gold mines in the corner like this that you might not find otherwise. I think that's valuable stuff for sure. It's a very equal TC layout, by the way. The settlements are in a really nice location. Not too aggressive. You can still steal a town center easily enough from the other guy. And we've got also a good amount of relics here for total. Trojan Gate Hinge will increase wall hit points a little bit. Just 120 health, so it's not that much to consider. We've got Raya's Crown as well, which will reduce town center cost, and that's a really good one to pick up if you're the Hades, because you're going to be wanting to push for the late game. Canopic Jar of Imseti will be for infantry train time reductions, and we've also got the Tusk of the Ironboard for cavalry health. Now that's very good for Egypt as well as Greece here. Both are going to make a lot of cavalry, and for that one, I mean, the Migdol units benefit quite a lot, right? So your heroic age pushes are going to be a lot better if you do have that. As for gods, we've got Athena and we've got Bast. Now, Athena has become a lot better in Retold than it has ever been in the original game because, well, the Minotaurs are kind of better, but also at the same time, you can use Restoration during god powers like Eclipse. So Ancestors Eclipse is defendable more so than before because of that. Villagers are moving out to do a little bit more hunting, so that could be a potential target for the Greek heroes, who are actually, only Ajax has been made so far, and I'm not sure where he is. He's picking up the relic for the town center costs, so that's great. And actually, AC is being rather brave going for the forward TC grab, especially against a player like ReDo, who will likely be aggressive in some form, and he will see this coming also, as these two obelisks are totally revealing this area, and I don't think there's enough time for the Minotaur to get this one as well. So yeah, right under ReDo's nose, he will just plant this town center, get it up. No doubt he will get it up, right? That's fine. But holding against the heroic age pressure, I just don't see that. The priest is getting bullied by the Minotaur, you know, with the hero support especially, this would be hard. Oh, the Sphinx can go in though, while the AC is too greedy. He's doing everything at once. You can't be doing that. The villagers will be dying here, at least a bunch of them. The Sphinx is using the special attack now and free at the same time. And because Achilles wasn't made, I think he's gonna shut this down super hard, and ReDo might just run away with this game one immediately if he kills sufficient villagers. This is absolutely sickening amounts of damage. Restoration is being used, and Ajax is slowly waddling back. Well, it's not enough. 40 seconds are left of Eclipse, and these Sphinxes are faster than the heroes. They're doing damage to the TC itself too, so it will be easier to later take it down. The Spearman needs to target villagers. There's more than one now. A really good choice by ReDo to send out the Sphinxes and to get a second Sphinx in the first place. Oh my god, is he going to be able to kill the villagers in time or what? It's going to complete at 1 second left. 2 villagers, and of course the Zom will be shooing ReDo away, but what a great cost that has been for AC at 15 villagers versus 23 now with all the kills having come in. ReDo also has the opportunity to get hierarchical swings, upgrading them 1 layer further. Whoo! Guys, you have to guard your villagers with both heroes if you're gonna do this. It's not safe to go out there alone and unarmed. You're gonna get shanked. And that's exactly what we've seen. Rough stuff, buddy. Rough stuff. The Canopic Jar of Himsteady is something that could be easily picked up here by AC. He should do it. Later on, you are interested in infantry anyhow, so highly recommend. I'm not sure you've seen that one yet, but soon gotta think about walling. And the problem is, when you're down 10 villagers, your economy is kind of in the toilet, and you can't afford the walls. You could afford the walls, technically. He's shifted over to some other stuff. Armory and market are coming in, both. You know, for now, these spearman rates aren't going to do anything. The sentinels are just Giga Chads, and they'll be holding the location, but I'm worried about the economy. Especially when it's combined with something like prosperity, which is going to propel the income of our Egyptian player significantly. There's currently a 20 population difference, and Nephthys is getting researched. I don't think an Ancestors Eclipse will be happening anytime soon, because that costs 90 favor. You would at least, at minimum, need a third monument. That's probably not going to happen. It's just going to be a naked Ancestors, but Restoration also was used, so, you know, it's a good trade. It is a good trade. It's time for the chickens. And you know, AC is doing an admirable job of focusing so much on the food, while the gold income is getting handled actually by Walls of Erebus, the upgrade from earlier. But can you actually get to 800 food in time? Because to beat Ancestors, you're gonna need your 3 heroes. All 3 of them, I mean. And towers had to be upgraded as well, and they're cheaper and retold, but they're also kind of worse. And they have a high chance of missing. Both Sphinxes get away, it looks like. Oh wait, don't send them back to the hero. Jeez. Okay, finally Achilles is out. He should be able to run one of them down. They are faster, so you have to, like, intercept nicely. And that just kind of means you have to get ahead of the curve. Our double archery range is being put down, so he's gonna fight this head on. We've got Migdol Stronghold coming down as well for ReDo. He could even build a town center here at the same time. As the gold villagers have finished working, they need to get to the next gold mine here. But there's nothing stopping ReDo from also getting a town center. He has enough gold. Trouble is that AC is caught up in the villager department, so what do? I think it should be aggression instead, right? While it's possible, just get your camels going, get your siege works going, get your siege towers out. Maybe stop the spearmen for now. Wonder if this is going to be Tuxodes or Peltasts. If it's Tuxodes, I think that's going to do a little bit better here. Just because there's all the infantry, there's camels who, you know, they will resist Peltas the same, but Tuxodes have higher base attacks. And you get ballistics for free anyway with Hades, so you might as well make use of that. Got the Nemean Lion also, which will further help against the melee units in particular. Of course, we've got the Curse Cast catching these units early on, so 4 pigs converted from the camels. That's pretty expensive stuff. And I really like this building blocking that we are seeing from AC. It won't be super easy to break through, but they should be attacking the weak building anyway. It was enough. However. Oh! I love the sound he makes. Oh! Hey! What are you doing here, Nemean Lion? That's the wrong place to be. Oh no. Farm transition has to start soon. Wait a second. AC is looking for a mythic transition. Oh boy, that's crazy. And getting the berries out here or the pumpkins, that's nuts. Ancestor Shade is going to be used on the fortress builders. I think he will be able to deny this. Oh my god, the lost ships getting added in as well. Oh no, 18 seconds left on this fortress. Cancel it before you lose the entire value of the thing. Oh no. AC. He barely got a refund. Oh my god. And now he's having to slap it down over there. Once again, completely unprotected. No units are around. And the Sphinxes are getting on top of the villagers. Only a 10 villager difference. But the camels are now on top also. And the villagers are getting cut down left and right. This is devastating. Why did he have to put it in such an obvious location? Why were there no more hoplites around? This is very, very risky to go for a mythic age so soon. And ReDo is punishing it so freaking hard right now. The villager count is once again equal, but this time around ReDo has a second town center himself. So he can do this all day. In fact, he's gotten ahead in villagers. Oh my goodness. He's killed so many already. The sentinels are gonna get the business as well, as the siege towers are showing them who's boss. And sure, maybe you're not gonna destroy the fortress very easily. But Mythic Age has been more or less delayed for now. AC could queue it up technically. He just needs a little bit more gold. And we should be seeing it. Oh, he's spending his resources, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure he's going Mythic anymore. But he's kind of doing no spending and a little spending, but it's too much spending to go Mythic. Either way, ISIS does have protective monuments, so you can't easily earthquake a base like this, especially if the monument gets empowered. I would love to see the 4th monument here for ReDo, by the way. That would be very, very nice for sure. Yeah, the firepower of the buildings is going to push us away for now. We also got Chiron out, so that's going to help a lot against Sphinxes and Scorpion Men, if there's any more. But I think ReDo is just very happy with the damage he's done and the buildings he's gotten up in the background. Meanwhile, every resource has been spent for AC. If he's only done this earlier, it would actually have paid off. But like this, I'm not so confident about it. The priest could heal up all this stuff over time. So I think it's not in ReDo's interest right now to fight. Especially with that nearly dead siege tower. Yeah, just add in the X-Men. Build a bigger army, get some chariots out. Maybe go mythic for the Son of Osiris. That would be a really good place for sure. That would be the meta place. Get it? Ho, 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 ho. Alright, Sphinx now going after the villagers. Once again, a really good job by ReDo. He's up 50 population right now. And getting behind this, upgrades like Sacred Cats for even faster food gathering. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty fantastic. Doesn't have much food sources left, by the way. Like, there's this hunting group and then this rhino. But after that, it's time for farming. I think the third TC would be in order as well for ReDo. Maybe an extra priest of 5 wouldn't hurt. The heavy hoplites now trying to get an attack down here, but they're gonna end up getting hit by the Sphinxes. And finally, we've got the Axemen in front as well to help absorb the hoplites a little bit and do some damage back to them. But they're pretty low in number and very low in health, so the hoplites fighting back right now is actually pretty solid. Having to rely a lot on the Migdal Stronghold fire right now. And maybe AC has found a crack in ReDo's armor right now. What he's doing seems to be pretty decent. You can't be serious, he's turning this game around. And now I'm sure that we're gonna see the Osiris or Tot click up. Yeah, it's gonna be Tot for ReDo. Now that's gonna destroy an entire base and potentially a ton of villagers are gonna be killed as well. And then he just gets Valley of the Kings and prints out elephants like there's no tomorrow. In addition to chariots and axemen. So that should be rather strong. And as the hoplites have been killed finally, AC no longer has this super powerful army to rely on. Has to rebuild them once again off of the very little resources he has. It's really not that much. I really like to see ReDo gathering so much wood because he's gonna need it for chariot spam. And one more thing he needs is the third TC. Both players do need that, quite urgently so. Back to peaceful coexistence. But at some point that's gonna turn around. Some point being when Tot hits. We've got irrigation coming in, quarry as well, heavy axemen. Now, you know, I like the units coming out of AC. That would have been great earlier as well. For the previous fight, a bunch of Hippospis to deal with the axemen would have been great. But I think it might be a little too late now for that. Especially once the elephants start coming out. Only one Migdal Stronghold still though for ReDo. Oh, look at that. We've got several lions getting made. That's nice. AC does happen to have a bit of gold. How much longer? This gold mine and that gold mine? Okay, that's gonna last a long amount of time. And there's this. Okay, Meteor should be ready to go momentarily. And it is going to be used on the town center, blasting right into the villagers and the wood line. I'm sure the town center should fall here. Just one more meteor is needed for that. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's not gonna go down. That's crazy. Barely any villagers have died. I will actually say that if somehow AC can turtle a little longer, he will be able to hold on. Thanks to Hades' late game. But, you know, the Isis one with Tot is not a slouch either. Artemis is going to be queued up after the next villager. And we're going to have several phoenixes. As long as there's heroes around, they're not going to be an issue whatsoever. But repairing this town center is imperative. And how is there no hero coming out right now? That's a very big problem for sure. As both the fortress and the TC just require a sneeze to go down. Oh wait, the scores are on the wrong side? Oh guys, I'm so sorry. Okay, I think we just have to swap the players around and roll with that. My goodness, I'm sorry. ReDo on the right, swap them around here. Yeah, now everything should be correct. I hope. The town center is now under attack. Not sure how long the villagers can make it, guys. The Phoenix is right on top, but it's attacking the hero for whatever reason, not the villagers. There is a Phoenix egg, but it wasn't in time at all, and ReDo is going to be taking that game right now. Yeah, the initial losses of those villagers were just a little bit too much, and, you know, AC certainly tried to come back there and made a good effort of it, but when you are getting outgathered in terms of resources by several thousand, it will show up on the map, and in terms of the unit kills as well. But if that hadn't been the case, if he just protects those villagers early on and has restoration around and the two heroes, you don't need to be that greedy with that town center grab. You can make that hero first, Achilles that is. And ReDo just really nicely identified what's going on and punished it. That was great. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We have got in the blue color AC playing as a Loki, and on the other side as the red Odin, this is ReDo. Now, I think we have a problem where you might get confused by the orientation of the map, so let me swap them around and also swap my score around, and then everything will align with their in-map positions. So that should be helpful for everyone trying to follow this. All right, here's the flip. Everything good? Maybe not. No, I need to flip again. Hold up, the players were incorrectly labeled there. Maybe like this, I don't know. Yes, the colors are wrong, but I don't care. I don't care. Everyone's on the matching side now. Okay, so Odin versus Loki. This is all about raiding for the Odin, getting the pickoffs against Loki, preventing the Loki from hunting, and keeping them home on the slower food sources like berries and herdables. Whereas for Loki, your mission is to just build up your large force of Herseer and raiding a little bit with that, backing them up with a little bit of your regular army and generating a ton of favor. You can generate a ton of favor by killing animals, especially on a map like Elysium, which is full of deer. It's very easy to do, it's very quick, and you get a good little favor reward for that. And then you basically will be hoping to get your myth unit spawns, the automatic ones, from Loki in the middle of fights, big fights, and you can snowball that as you get more and more myth units. So that is the Loki game plan for Odin, however, it's all about, you know, making sure that the other guy just doesn't have enough economy and that you're winning some of the earlier fights so that the snowball never happens. If you get both of you get to the heroic age at a good, reasonable time, then flaming weapons is cancelled out by frost. So that is another objective for Odin to achieve. And considering that Odin does have great hunt, and that means that you get more easily accessible huntables as well as a faster gather rate from the Odin bonus. That's very nice for your economy overall, but Loki, being the guy that makes Herseer, will be having some excess gold, and that just makes you make more dwarves. Right? Because food is so expensive when it comes to Herseer. They cost 80 food and only 40 gold, so all that discrepancy you just pump into dwarf economy. And with that, you can do a very sudden age jump at a later point in time, because you're not spending food on villagers. It's great for the heroic age and to prevent Frost from bullying your flaming weapons, really. Alright, we've got Freya, of course, as the ReDo classical age pick, and Forseti for AC, so nothing surprising here. That's always how it goes. As for relics, we got the Bridle of Pegasus getting picked up already. Spy getting used on the Berserk, so that will be providing some line of sight. We've got the Anvil of Hephaestus for cheaper armory. Text 50% reduction. It's huge, actually. Text of Inhotep for another build time reduction. That will be very nice for Loki, who already has some. So six stacking that would add up to a lot. Thundercloud Shawl for Hero Pierce, for Hero and Human Pierce armor. Doesn't play that much of a role in the Norse mirror matchup, unless you're looking to defend against Godi or against like building fire. It's not a huge factor, especially because you don't get guard towers. The hill forts aren't shooting that hard, so prioritize your melee armor for sure. Doesn't mean you shouldn't pick up the relic though. It's a good idea. Pegasus is doing a lot of work, and they'll be able to keep tabs on especially gold miners, especially in the classical age, whereas in heroic the Godi can push them away, yes, but you know, in classical there's really not much you can do about the Pegasus. There's throwing axemen. It's like killing someone with a spoon. Takes some time. There's a whole movie about this. Right, the raiding cavalry are not moving out just yet by themselves. It's going to be a group attack. And potentially this is to just cut off the food sources early on. The Raven is, well, we have Pegasus at home for Odin, right? That's the idea, at least. And of course, the Valkyrie can find this very easily. Shoo away the villagers a little bit. Maybe bait this army into the forest and use a forest fire there. That would be actually pretty good. It's the right time now, so I'd love to see it. Oh, it's too early. The healing spring is gonna mostly counter it anyway. Wait. He's pushing the villagers in. Oh my god! Oh my god, this is the best forest fire I've seen in a million years. And he can get the rest. Holy shit! All those villagers are gonna go down, aren't they? That forest fire was amazing. But this never happens. What did AC do? Oh no. ReDo just needs to run from this. It's fine. You've done your damage, my man. You can run. You don't need to be here. That was great. Oh my god. Wow. I have no idea what just happened with those villagers. They donated their lives. ReDo's gonna be happy with this. Getting some throwing axe and pickoffs as further rewards, and I think the troll is gonna go down, guys. This is sick. Holy moly. Can AC even hold on in this direct fight? I think not, maybe. Alright, I guess he's doing okay. But the Valkyrie survives, fighting heroes, which is... she's just a Giga Trixie. That's a fact. Throwing action versus throwing action will be victorious. Well, that's a quick one. ReDo just closes out the game by winning the next fight as well. Should have just hugged that healing spring and hope for the best, because force fire was not going to reach the healing spring. And meanwhile, with the healing, I think the units would have won the fight. So AC just hugely misplaying this and resulting in an 8 kill differential. It's too much, especially with being 4 villagers down and not having hunting come as a Loki is not acceptable. On to the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marsh. This is going to be our game number 4 in the series between AC and ReDo. In the blue color playing a set, that is AC. And on the other side, playing as Kronos, we've got the red ReDo. ReDo. Should be an interesting matchup. Deconstruct shouldn't be too threatening in the early game, but you know, when it comes to the heroic age and holding it that long, you can get rid of the first Migdal Stronghold, which is a very big play in a moment where ideally a set player would secure some map control. But we've got some very safe gold mines here, right in front of a town center, very vulnerable as well. And of course, let's not forget about the Converting some boars is going to be a very potent play. You can now shut down oracles that are all around the map. So that oracle will have to skedaddle, and I think ReDo knows it. The boar will, however, see it, but it's not quite in range to aggro. Oh, that is unfortunate, because if you can shut down the oracle favor income with this, that is a huge play. Even the monkey over here can get a little bit of damage done. The oracles themselves can't really fight back. Did ReDo just stop gathering resources? Oh my god. Already a 3-minute advance. There we go. Oh my god, this is gonna put on some heavy pressure on our set player. And if the advance isn't 4 minutes here for AC, then he's gonna be in a world of hurt. Already made a monument early on. You do need that, so that should provide an extra budget or something like that. We've got the tempo time shift. Oh, this, man, Set's job in this matchup is to shut down the oracles with boars or force the early conversion. This is exactly what I'm talking about, because right now the favor that's produced by this oracle is extremely low, which will further reduce the potential ability to make Prometheans. And this one as well. So actually AC is finally doing it. This third one, however, got away somehow, some way, and is generating a large amount of favor here. Also, the other one making its way home, of course, has been rather potent. Valor will fully heal the Oracle and turn it into a hero, so it's now safe against the animals. And we'll be able to pick up some relics, such as a Chariot of Cybele, which... Why are you going home, sir? Oh, the temple is being shifted back. Okay, this was only just to spawn the Prometheans right on top of the enemy base, but the Pharaoh will be dealing some significant damage to this anyhow. So, you know, it's not much of a muchness to talk about. We've got the deconstruct on the temple, but as soon as the temple is rebuilt, the animals as well as the Myth unit, the Vadget, will be popping out, because that is no longer a thing. It's just held in treasury in the meantime. In the original game, you would lose access to the Myth unit if you didn't remake the temple in time though, but in Retold, anytime you make it, it's fine. You don't have to have it ready for the advance. That also applies to the dock, so when you're like a Mythic Age on a map like this and you've never made a dock before, well, you're gonna get both your Heroic Age and Mythic Age Water Myth unit. So that is something to really keep in mind, guys, when you're fighting for late game map control. Alright, well, as I said, everybody's here. The whole zoo. And the continues. Where's the priest? Oh, here. More boars. Villagers don't need to get out there and concern themselves with this. I'm not really sure, guys, that ReDo has gotten enough out of this. Sure, he's time shifting the manors now in order to help himself build a settlement a little bit faster. But unfortunately, the villagers are idle, so needs to retest those as soon as possible. The Chariot of Cybele has been picked up. That's giving him the Golden Lions, which will help against the Boar Onslaught. And also, this is a really good board to actually get a kill on with the villagers, so I would highly recommend it. Then you can gather the food from it. Again, a Retold special. In the old game, if you kill them, they would just be disappearing. But in Retold, if those set animals die in your base, you're gonna be able to eat them. It's great. Alright, a lot of villagers are being turned into heroes, which is making me think that ReDo is interested in getting the Theft of Fire tech, which will increase their gather rates and build speeds by 20%. What a good technology it is. And there it is. Coming in. 20 favor, it's a high cost, you know, which is why you use Valor on the villagers rather than manually converting them. That would be breaking the bank for sure. But right now the problem is that there's no resources here for ReDo whatsoever. And he's got, sorry, no resources, no units for resource, what? No resources for units, yes, finally it came out. Where's the army? There's no army. Prometheans are doing their absolute best. Bless them, they were free. And the lions are back. Okay, that's super helpful right now. The oracles are getting beaten up a little bit. That's the favorite generation of our Kronos player. But the towers have been researched and will be shooing away this group, leaving some animals for ReDo to hunt, as we previously discussed. The priest should be able to heal up the army, however, so this isn't really too bad in any way. And guys, I think I've got my scores flipped the wrong way around once again. Please tell me if I mess up. This is too easy to mess up. Right, I think that should be good now. Finally, the stars align. Town center grab up front for AC. Set player securing in the middle of the map is nothing too unusual, especially after such an early game. And catching up with the second town center of our Atlantean player is also pretty important. Right now, for the moment, Set is ahead in pop. But a lot of this is animals, including converted ones. Did I check the other relics? I think not, right? We got the Osterberg wagon that's giving caravans a little bit of cost reduction as well as extra speed. Very valuable relic for the late game, but definitely not coming into play for a long, long time here. Task of the Iron Boar for cavalry hit points is both players would appreciate that, I'm sure. And then we've got the Arrows of the Alpha for some building damage. Is that it? I think it is. Yeah, the Chariot of Cybele was picked up. Oh, there's more. Grugnir Odin Spear, which was gonna make Spearman better. More damage. Give Fire of Apollo for villager movement speed. Able to escape some certain raiding units, more or less.
Into you.
Certainly the relic coming in clutch here for the Spearman. Might be able to get a villager pick off if they're really good about the positioning. I think they might be, but doesn't want to sacrifice the unit. And of course Valor was available to save the villager if things were gonna get hairy. I'm pretty sure the animals or the priest says mama when it's done, right? That's what it says. Sounds like mama to me. Let's listen in. Sekhmet's coming in the background, by the way. Ah, I was talking over it, sorry. That should happen soon. Anytime now. Anytime now. Come on. It says mama, for sure. Alright, we've established this. Hand axe and copper weapons are also some cheap, easy techs to grab. Hyperion is coming in for our Kronos. Which will give access to chaos, of course. So any slinger-based armies better watch out because they'll be killing themselves off. As the Qualifier is forcing them to fight each other. Dealing massive bonus damage to each other as their counter units. Now, many counter barracks have been made already, but it's the military barracks you're really gonna need for the heroic age. And under this many manors, they're gonna get built super fast as well. So ReDo really could wait until the last possible moment. And once he is in the next stage, he can just get the cavalry upgrades and just pump out the Contarius, and potentially a few Arcus actually wouldn't hurt. It would help against all these animals to pick them off. And I'm not sure whether the right move for AC is to eat these animals or whether to use them in combat. I would lean towards using them in combat right this moment, but the longer the game goes on, the less value you get from that, especially from giraffes, who are very low HP and still provide a good amount of food. You don't want to donate that because you basically reduce the amount of need for farming. ReDo currently is certainly having to consider farming, but if you take these set animals to him, he gets huntables in his base. You probably don't want that. So I would actually lean now towards AC, keeping them for himself and eating them under the town center like he's done with the giraffes. The citadel up front, also a pretty good choice. Will be difficult to take that thing down, and it will make the villagers faster. Very helpful. We also got the monument to priests, which is gonna work on these barracks as well as the Migdol stronghold to make the units within cheaper. And as predicted, we are gonna have a ton of Contarius and a bunch of Arcus. I would like to see a little more Arcus for now. But you know, with all these animals around, the Contarius will be bonking them pretty hard and they'll disappear. Heavy archers are coming in, and we've got a bunch of Arcus hero conversions, and further Arcus are getting made as well. More Contarius. The pump is real and serious. We've got a 4th satyr already, and they are upgraded with Gemino, which is giving him some extra damage on those spear throws. It's not my favorite use of chaos, but I mean, the animals did kill each other off. The heroes were gonna do that anyhow, however, and that's a really good use actually of deconstruction. Getting rid of the Migdol, I've spoken about this earlier. A new one needs to be now made. The villagers are not getting resources, units are not being made, and ReDo is getting quite a bit of work done in the meantime, so this is pretty sick as far as the push is going. I'm definitely giving the advantage to ReDo, considering that there's just no units out for AC, but fighting under the Citadel and the Migdol Stronghold is still a little bit asking for too much at this point. The DPS from the Migdol Stronghold is 52.8. You don't want to sit under that. Almost nothing does as much DPS. So when you empower with the Pharaoh, the attack speed basically gets increased. So the rate of fire gets reduced. A lower rate of fire means that you do more shots per second, however. So for defensive purposes, empowering Migdol Stronghold for a Pharaoh is a really good idea. It's even better if you're Ra and you can just do the monument empowering. And then multiple buildings get impacted by that, like 2 strongholds, the Citadel Center. It's a really powerful little tool. You can even put a lighthouse at the edge of the range and see the observable universe. It's a lot of chariots for someone that's fighting against Contarius. I don't like it. These villagers are going to get caught as well. ReDo's doing a really good job of this. And yeah, the villagers are in for a rough one with this. I think all of them might go down depending on how well ReDo micros this. He's splitting off some Contarius to chase, but these guys are slippery. They're getting away. Not too bad though anyway. In terms of civilian population, he is now ahead, but he's going up against someone that's reaching Mythic through Horus. So ReDo himself would need to soon start saving up. And, you know, actually get to Mythic through Atlas, supposedly. That means Implode will be his god power. A lot more food gathering will be required. There's all the boars and buffaloes. You don't need that much wood at this point in time. But hey, looks like finally AC has built an army that can take this on. With the multiple Migdols, with the additional spearmen getting added in, this is actually looking pretty good, I will say. I like AC's chances, ladies and gentlemen. I think he might be able to push this away, and especially with the Mythic Age transition happening at the same time, I really like his chances, because Tornado will be able to destroy this entire army and the TC at the same time. That's exactly how he's going to cast it. ReDo is not looking, he's not splitting away, but he gets lucky. The Tornado ends up targeting the town center, and I'm pretty sure it could take it down as well. It's looking like a really wet tornado right now, slicing up the villagers. Also, the TC will be surviving at 100 health. Click it, sneeze at it. It will go down in a moment. That's it. And now AC has the opportunity to just pull some villagers forward and grab the town center for himself, getting to a ridiculous population level and building a death ball army that can't be taken on very easily anymore. And you know, when an army gets death bally and much larger than your opponents, you're gonna get an exponential advantage. As you remove DPS from the enemy army, your enormous army will just continue doing the work and receive very little damage, thus no deaths, thus you are stockpiling your resources, which you can then spend on upgrades, further snowballing the game forward. So that is what I would like to see now from AC. He's got a huge population lead as is, and if he builds the remaining monuments, he can also get a second and third citadel as the game progresses. Sorry, he already did the second one. A third one is what I was trying to say. Are these not fortified citadels? Hold up. I think not. Four town centers. We're starting to get to the point where AC is rich enough in terms of the economy to just absorb and implode, really? I think that could happen, but you know, one problem with being full population is that you're not making villagers at the time. So what you see a lot of top players do is actually they cut military on purpose and stop making more when they're near full pop, to make sure that those last few villagers can come out. Like you can still make 20 villagers for AC and then caravans after that. So you know, allowing for that is actually a very important little skill in macro management. Something we don't talk about enough as casters. And ReDo certainly has done that. He left himself some population space to max out in army. But now, can he deal with the death ball? Is what he has on the field enough? Is his production gonna be enough? We're about to find out. Atlas is coming in just a few seconds out. He's finishing up bronze shields. Ditto. Now those elephants are at the gate. Can he actually hold on? A lot of the units are idle, but he is printing out the catapulties, which will be a great tool to use against this. I think the Contarius need to get on top of the chariots rather than trying to fight the elephants, where they do no bonus damage. You are basically getting rid of 50% bonus damage. That's a large nerf to Contarius. This is not their role, and you can see the man struggle. But I think Implode is going to be cast right on top of these chariots and priests. All of them will get sucked in and die. And then we'll really see who's boss between these two. As the army was dying, however, you can notice that some villagers were made. Either way, there is the Implode. And you cannot escape the event horizon, as it turns out. It's going boom. Almost everything has perished, ladies and gentlemen. Just a handful of chariots made it out, and the Argus are making sure to pick them off. We also got the double Argus coming out, which will be doing a little bit of an acid splash here and there. The Contarius are looking for some further information, see if there's a trade route, see if there's anything that could be harassed. The market isn't in the corner, which is triggering my inner OCD. And at the moment, only 39 gold per trip is certainly not great. You should improve that by making a market up here and trading to down here. That would be ideal. It's also very vulnerable looking to me. But now, the question is, does AC have enough resources to replenish the army and hold this tide back? We'll see. Oh, we've got the dock. I was talking about this at the beginning of the match. And this is actually something that's quite important to get those myth units out, but there's nothing for them to attack. So, because they're melee, that's pretty unfortunate. Whereas for the Atlanteans, if you make your own, which ReDo is now doing, you're gonna get your jellyfish. And you know, big stupid jellyfish is OP, so highly recommend that. The blobheads are gonna not do anything because AC resigns. He can't hold back the tide. He was on 4 town centers, but he resigned anyway. I don't understand. What? Wait, why didn't you just make units into the buildings? You don't have to garrison them out. You can hide them in the buildings. The chariots can go into the Migdor stronghold, and then you can just make further units into directly the buildings. ReDo is full pop. You can more or less catch up here. Oh no. Why? Why is he resigned? I don't understand. There's even a pharaoh to deal with the Argus. It's too early. No. No, this game could have continued, AC. Oh, this is inexperience, I think, with that situation. Sure, ReDo had an overwhelming army, but this was manageable. He's up 4 towns. He can lose a town center and it's fine. I think the score must have misled him. Oh, wow. ReDo, however, does go to the semi-finals. He certainly deserves it. He's done an amazing job throughout this entire series, but I do think we deserved a game 5. That's really my point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a closer game than it looked, certainly. I do think so. We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.